Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of celebrities who have landed themselves behind bars. Once protected by fame and fortune, these stars are now facing the harsh reality of their actions. From minor missteps to major scandals, let's take a look at who's doing time and why. Earl Simmons, better known by his stage name DMX, stands as one of the most striking icons of American hip-hop. With his signature raspy voice, ferocious delivery, and lyrics brimming with raw emotion, he carved an indelible mark in the hearts of fans. In the late 90s and early 2000s, DMX became a phenomenon, the first artist to have 5 consecutive albums debut at #1 on the Billboard charts. Hits like Rough Riders Anthem, Party Up, Up in Here, and X Gon' Give It To Ya weren't just songs, they were the roars of a man fueled by passion. But behind that dazzling spotlight lay a life steeped in drama, a series of scandals that leave us wondering, what really happened to DMX? Born and raised in Yonkers, New York, DMX didn't have a peaceful childhood. A poor family, an abusive mother, and the harsh streets became his earliest school. At just 5 years old, he was kicked out of his home by his mother, left to wander amid the dangers of the slums. That unforgiving environment seemed to shape an Earl Simmons who was both resilient and fragile. But one mysterious moment changed everything. At 14, he was tricked into smoking a cigarette laced with cocaine by someone he considered a mentor, Reddy Ron. Could that have been the gateway that led him to drugs? The demon that would later haunt his career and life? DMX wasn't just a gifted rapper. He was also an outlaw with a rap sheet that reads like a crime novel. From carjacking and drug possession, to assault and audacious stunts like impersonating a federal agent, to steal an SUV at JFK Airport in 2004, he seemed to know no boundaries. Each incident left the public stunned. How could someone at the peak of fame repeatedly plunge into such wild trouble? These stories weren't just scandals. They were puzzle pieces revealing a DMX full of contradictions, a man both proud and self-destructive. In 2008, another scandal rocked the headlines when police raided his Arizona home. They found 12 pit bulls starved to the bone, alongside the buried remains of 3 others in the backyard. DMX, once proud to feature his dogs in music videos as symbols of strength and loyalty, was now accused of animal cruelty. The image was a stark contrast to what people thought they knew about him. What drove him to let those creatures suffer in such a pitiful state? Was there a hidden secret behind their deaths that the public has yet to uncover? Perhaps the biggest scandal of DMX's career was the 2017 tax evasion charge. Prosecutors claimed he concealed millions in earnings from music, performances, and TV deals, dodging $1.7 million in taxes over more than a decade. He was accused of living a cash lifestyle, avoiding personal bank accounts, and funneling money through others to outsmart the IRS. In court, the strangest moment unfolded. DMX requested that his song Slippin', a haunting track about his life's stumbles, be played before he was sentenced to a year in prison. Was it a final plea for understanding, or just a ploy to sway the judge? DMX's personal life was no less chaotic. He fathered 15 children with multiple women, yet faced constant lawsuits for failing to provide adequate support. A man who rapped about faith and prayed in his music found himself mired in romantic entanglements and shirked responsibilities. These contradictions beg the question, who was DMX really? A talented artist crushed by life's blows, or a man unable to rein himself in? Each scandal peeled back another layer, exposing deep wounds from a past he could never escape. DMX's death on April 9, 2021, following a heart attack reportedly triggered by a drug overdose, marked a somber end to a turbulent journey. He passed at 50, leaving behind a monumental musical legacy tinged with regret. Fans still debate, were drugs and scandals the root of his downfall, or merely the fallout of a soul scarred since childhood? That question may never find an answer. In his final days, he spoke of wanting a fresh start, but fate denied him that chance. DMX, Dark Man X, embodied both genius and sinner in one being. He was a storyteller of the streets, a voice for the forgotten, yet a victim of his own demons. His scandals, big and small, didn't just dim his shine. They fueled endless curiosity about his life. What truly pushed him from the heights to the depths? Was it circumstance, drugs, or the shadowy corners of his mind that only he knew? Whatever the truth, DMX remains an enigma, an unfinished tale that keeps the world talking. Rakim Mayers, better known by his stage name A$AP Rocky, is one of the most prominent stars in American hip-hop, but his life has been far from devoid of drama that has shaken both the music world and the public. Among the scandals tied to his name, the most serious is arguably the accusation of shooting at his former friend Terrell Efron, also known as A$AP Relly, in Hollywood in late 2021. This incident not only landed Rocky in legal trouble, but also raised a question. Is a talented rapper like him truly a violent individual, or merely a victim of a mysterious misunderstanding? Picture a November evening in 2021 on a bustling street near the W Hotel in Hollywood. A$AP Rocky, then at the peak of his career with chart-topping hits and a high-profile romance with Rihanna, suddenly found himself face-to-face with Relly, a childhood friend from high school who had once helped him build the A$AP Mob Collective. According to Relly's account, after a heated argument over money and a fractured friendship, Rocky pulled out a gun and fired. One bullet allegedly grazed Relly's hand, leaving a minor injury but enough to turn the incident into a media frenzy. But what really happened? Rocky denied all accusations, claiming it was just a prop gun he had brought from a music video set. No firearm was recovered and no clear physical evidence emerged. So where does the truth lie? The situation escalated quickly when Rocky was arrested in April 2022, right after returning from a vacation with Rihanna at Los Angeles International Airport. He faced 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, staring down a potential 24-year prison sentence if convicted. The trial in early 2025 in Los Angeles only heightened the drama. Rihanna, now the mother of Rocky's 2 children, appeared in court with a worried yet resolute expression, as if sending a message of unwavering belief in her partner. Meanwhile, Relly testified that his life had been threatened, describing the moment Rocky pointed a gun at him as something out of a horror movie. But Rocky's defense team launched a counterattack. They argued that Relly fabricated the story for financial gain, pointing to the suspicious detail that he turned in 2 bullet casings to the police after returning to the scene, a fact that raised many eyebrows. The trial stretched over 3 weeks, featuring grainy surveillance footage capturing the sound of gunshots, but no clear view of the shooting, alongside conflicting testimonies from both sides. Prosecutors painted Rocky as the aggressor, while his legal team, led by Joe Tacopina, insisted it was a case of self-defense with a fake gun. After 3 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict. Rocky was not guilty. The courtroom erupted in cheers as Rocky leapt over the wooden barrier to embrace Rihanna and his family, shouting to the jury, "Thank you for saving my life." Yet despite his exoneration, the scandal left a lingering question. What truly happened that night between 2 men who were once like brothers? The Hollywood shooting wasn't just the biggest scandal of A$AP Rocky's career. It was a mystery-laden tale where the truth seemed obscured by contradictory accounts and a lack of evidence. It shed light on a darker side of his life, from broken friendships to the pressures of fame. Is Rocky truly innocent, or did he narrowly escape a dark secret? Though the verdict has been delivered, curiosity about the incident continues to simmer, compelling people to dig deeper into the life of Lord Pretty Flacco, a man who is both a gifted artist and the epicenter of endless controversy.